Caroline Poynton is recording this because this sounds a bit weird. Very weird, actually. From Berry, Caroline Poynton, Poynton. Berry, Bury. Thank you.
Police officers, 5 of whom in riot gear, stormed the house of an auditor, a sort of online citizen journalist, if you will. Some people love them, some people hate them, that's not the point. All because he entered a migrant hotel and consumed a meal. Now, I'll have my thoughts about that a little bit later in this video, not to draw conclusions, because that is now a live case, because he's been arrested and charged, but there's been a lot of questions raised as to whether the police response in cases like this is proportionate or whether it is plainly two-tier. So I'm going to compare 1 or 2 cases in this, and I'm also going to talk about the use of flags, because flags are going up everywhere and there are a few questions, so I'll point you to some resources a bit later in the video, and a little bit of hypocrisy from Birmingham Council regarding flags in the second half of the video. So if you haven't worked it out by now, we're on Black Belt Secrets, so this doesn't really fit on Black Belt Barrister or anywhere else, so I'll do that here. Now, the first story I'd like to turn to is this one here, where this was, oddly enough, a video released by the police bragging that they'd caught a vehicle with no license and presumably no insurance, and the driver asked the police officer for a selfie. Now, this ostensibly was a foreigner, migrant of sorts. I don't know the details, I'm not being rude, but clearly not very good English.
Well,
but this was the police officer here stopping this vehicle because he almost caused a crash. So you can see in this video here, she stops this vehicle. I'm going to turn the volume down so it doesn't interrupt me, but you can see that the police officer stopped this vehicle, pulled him over. He got into the car. Turns out that he's got no license. So not only was the vehicle not displaying the VRM properly, but the driver had no license to drive. That is an offence in itself. Presumably he had no insurance, etc. All of which he could be arrested for, could be produced at court for, but she just let him go. All she did was seize the vehicle. Now, on the one hand, yes, getting the vehicle off the road was a safe thing to do, but that was it. No further action that we know of against this driver, raising the question that why is this an appropriate response to such a dangerous driver? Not dangerous driver as in the offence of dangerous driving, but obviously driving dangerously as he nearly caused a crash and driving without insurance and license and so on. So all of which pretty bad. So you can question the response of the police there. Now, moving on to the police raiding the home of an auditor, citizen journalist guy. He calls himself Migrant Auditor, and so on the face of it is some sort of undercover journalist, and he goes into these hotels filming to see what's going on in these hotels, clearly running as a free-for-all canteen, because I think it's in the public interest for people to know what's going on here. This is, I suppose, a form of undercover journalism.
Good man, I say. Good man, good on it. We got free meal out of it. Fucking damn right, because we're all paying for it. Well, we've all bought him a meal. Good on him. What's wrong with him? It's only a fucking meal. It's not burglary. Oh, he's paid for it. How is it burglary when the fucking public have paid for it? The taxpayer people do what banging is, or whatever. Doesn't matter, but we are paying for it, all of us.
Public journalism.
We're paying for it in our shopping bills, in our electricity bills, everything we do, we're paying for it.
Against him and the proceeds of justice.
So how dare they say it's fucking burglary? It's not burglary.
This here is the
if anything, it could be trespassing.
The police here turned up to his address. Now, I don't know why they thought that it was necessary to turn up.
And a bit cheeky. Maybe it's a bit cheeky.
Maybe they had intel that.
But he's not done no harm to anybody. He's not stolen it, broken into anywhere.
Response by police to this scenario, the vehicle scenario, and another one I'll show you in a minute. This does seem a little bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, it is, because they don't want us to know.
Now, a lot about the issues about illegal migration to the UK. I've got my thoughts on it. Lots of people have got their thoughts on it. But
what they're hiding in them fucking hotels, what they don't want to know about, eh?
There is even a dedicated...
Why they're getting body bags ready and all sorts ready.
Set up to monitor social media activity for people commenting anti-migrant posts online. And now more than ever, people are worried about being arrested for what they've posted online. Now, I am by no stretch encouraging anybody to post any hateful comments online. But if you are worried about what you are posting, even if you think what you're posting is perfectly okay, you are better to do so anonymously. And the best way to remain anonymous is to use a service like NordVPN. And as it happens, I get you a great discount. If you haven't used a VPN already, stick around and you will get this discount. Now, what is a VPN? A lot of you may have heard about them and not really know what they are, but now is the best time to learn what they are. So VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. And when you connect to it, your browsing remains anonymous. Now, whilst staying truly anonymous is practically impossible, there is a great guide by NordVPN, which I'll link below, which together with using NordVPN as a service, will help you to stay as anonymous as possible. And whilst connected to the service, it will keep all of your online traffic encrypted, meaning most hackers, snoopers, advertisers, etc. won't be able to see your online traffic.
Between millions of
It's more
people,
of
I
a
don't
privacy
think
tool than true
one meal is
anonymity.
going to kill
But
the
every
thing
little
now,
bit
is
can
it?
help. It also gives you a virtual location and masks your IP address. And not only that, you'll also have to block adverts, malicious websites, and malicious downloads. And as promised, as a partner to my channel, you get a great discount, which is 4 months extra free of the service, using the code black.secrets at the link in the description below. Once you download it and activate it, you'll get this peace of mind, you'll know that you're that little bit more protected. And of course, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee if you change your mind, but the peace of mind will be well worth it. So don't forget the code black.secrets at the link. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. So as it happens, he does come out quietly, they arrest him and they charge him with burglary. Again, I'll come back to that in a moment. Because this is
he hasn't broken it, and then he can walk into it. If you can walk into something, you haven't broken the window.
This video circulating
then you've
this
not
man,
broken
now
in at
in
all.
police
You basically broke it.
was found to be entering a blind woman's home without her knowledge, without her consent, etc. And
now that's breaking
the
in.
police
There you
did
go,
nothing
not
about
breaking
it.
in, isn't
It was
it?
followed by
That's
members of the public,
burglary.
and ultimately you'll recognise this
Basically, he's
photograph here,
trespassing.
where he was stood here and not
Yeah,
really
but that's
questioned
fucking
by
what
the
is
police
that?
officers. In fact, the police officers then set
What is
up
it?
a dispersal order, which is known
Something
as a
fucking
Section
ugly, that's what I
35
can tell you.
dispersal
Something
order, which
fucking ugly.
requires a senior
What is it?
officer's
It's fucking
authorization
damn
to
well
do,
ugly.
to remove people from the area where they believe that there might be people being harassed, alarmed, distressed, or crime and disorder that is going to take place in that area. So they issued this order, and then I understand that they arrested somebody else as well for breach of that order. Now, there are 2 police reports on this incident, the first of which pretty much dismissed it, which resulted in a bit of public backlash, because the public quite
why don't they remove the person
were
who's done the
upset that
crime?
somebody ostensibly and
I am not saying every illegal, I am saying the one that's done the crime.
Obviously, people were upset about that. That is not a controversial thing to say at all.
I don't see that's anything controversial to say about anybody. I think that's quite right.
This was the first police
They don't
update
need to
here.
leave anybody else.
We were aware of
Just
video
that person
circulating
that's done
online
that
relating to
bloody
an incident
crime.
officers were called to at
That's it.
18:07 hours
You
on
know,
Wednesday.
I'm not saying
We
anybody
understand
else,
that a man
I'm
entered the
saying the
property through
one
an open
person.
door, having been followed by a group
So
of men in
then
the
that
street.
way, he's
The
not
man
going to
has
commit
not been
no more
arrested, as
crime.
at the time the initial investigation had not
Because
identified
he's not
any
going to be
offences.
able
We
to.
understand this is distressing for occupants.
Exactly.
That, on the face of it, seemed
And
to
we
be
do
it.
what I've said
So
by
seemed to be
clearing up
quite
the
a different
country
telling
with
story
my
there.
good plan.
The police have now updated that and
Let's
said,
have a person.
just so that you are up to date
You
as to
know, we
what's
can't
going
have
on,
him
the
here
police
in
have
this
now
country.
said,
We probably can't be
they
locking
say
him
on
up.
Wednesday
Like
we
it
released
costs
an
too
initial
much money
statement
and all
following
of
the
this.
incident at the old adult where a man
Doesn't
allegedly
work for
entered
him
the woman's
anyway.
flat.
So
He was detained
basically,
by
they're not.
members of the public
He
nearby. The
basically
investigation
probably needed
continued on
in
Thursday, with
Ukraine
officers carrying out extensive
to fight a war
CCTV
with
inquiries
Russia.
and speaking to witnesses. As a result of this, in the early hours of the morning, we arrested a man in Hackney on suspicion
You know, he
of
looks like he's
assault.
going to be able
He's
to
believed to be in his early 20s. We can
hide
confirm that
his
the man
face
who
by
allegedly
the
entered the
looking
flat.
of
We
him,
can
and you're not
confirm
going to be
that
able
this
to
is the
see the
man
fucker.
who allegedly entered the
Good,
flat.
good.
He's now in police
I'm
custody.
going to
So
say
without
what I'm
commenting
seeing.
on either of those cases specifically, you can see why the public
I
might
would say,
have
I
the
mean,
perception
why
that
don't
there
you
is a very
drop him
different
off in
police
Ukraine?
response to these scenarios.
Because he'd be better
Now,
off
what I would say,
there.
being the
He'd be
balanced
better
lawyer
off there
who
in
was there on
Ukraine. There's no
Black
what
Secrets,
what
I
many
will
women
say
is there
is
today? Now, I
we
don't think there's very
don't
many there,
always
is
know
there?
all the facts. We
Then
don't
you can
always
tell
know
them
what's
that they've
going on.
blown it
We
all
don't
up
always
or
know
whatever.
that the police are and whether the
But
police
I'm
are
only saying there's only
following
been a
these
few
investigations
bombs
in
there,
the
so I don't know
background,
money
and in
for.
this case they obviously did. They looked at CCTV, they did follow it up, but one would question whether or not that would have happened had
send
there
him back
not
to
been
Uganda.
public
He came from
attention,
Africa, send him
social
back to
media,
Africa.
and awareness to these
They don't want to
cases
send him to
that in
Ukraine.
essence may have
They
forced the
send him
police
to
hand
Africa.
to look into this
I'm not saying
case.
we're going to send him to
But you might
Palestine
still
because it
question
doesn't look
the
like he's from there.
proportionality of the police response
all.
by turning up to
So
Lawrence's
either
house in full riot
Ukraine
gear, as
or
opposed
Africa,
to
back
just
to Africa for
letting this
himself.
guy go in
Which
the first
one-
instance.
Which
I've
way
had police
I
officers,
don't
serving
care, but
and
whichever way he
retired,
should be allowed
email
to
me
stay in our
about that
country.
case because I talked about that
He's
before,
committed that
to say that
crime,
at the
now
very
he should
least,
be
which was my
deported.
view, at the very
End of.
least, they
This
should
is what they
have
should be
detained him
doing
at
now.
the
The
time
people, when
on
somebody
suspicion of
commits the
burglary.
crime
This
and
is
they're
the second
illegal
guy.
into the
On
country, they're
suspicion
not
of
even
burglary
been
for
vetted
questioning
into
because
the
he
country.
entered as a trespasser.
I was going to say,
who
well,
knows
he's
what the
trespassed into
intent
the country
was.
already, mate.
So
And then when
in
somebody
that
does a
scenario,
crime,
lots of
they
police
should
officers,
be
both
deported.
current and former,
So that way
were of the view
nobody has
that
to
he
be
should have been
saying
arrested
because
and
you're from
questioned
there
on
or
suspicion
there
of
or
burglary.
whatever.
But as it
It's
happens,
because the person has
the police
simply
have now
committed
confirmed
a
what they
crime.
have now done. So now let's look
Exactly.
very briefly back at the offence of burglary. It's under the Theft
And I
Act,
think that's
section
fair
9.
enough. I
Person
think
is
that's
guilty of burglary
quite
if
fair
they
enough.
enter the building as a trespasser, so it has to be
If a
without the
person
owner's
committed a
consent.
crime, then they should
So
be
there's an
deported.
argument, speaking generally, there's an
Well,
argument if somebody lets you into the property, are they really a trespasser because someone has let you
and
into the
if it's
property
been
with
fined
the
in
intent to commit
court
any
and
offences
everything,
in
then
section
they should
2,
be
or
deported.
having entered the building as a
Human
trespasser,
rights, they don't get
steals or
human
attempts to
rights,
steal
you're going to
anything in the
break into
building,
someone's home
or
and
cause grievous
you
bodily
could
harm.
harm them. I mean, the
And
little old
so
lady
stealing
and stuff as well,
something
you
may
don't
amount
have
to
human
consuming
rights.
food, but they would have to
for
then
that.
prove the theft of it, i.e. the dishonest intent part of that. Is it dishonest if
No.
somebody gives something to you? These are the kind of questions that will be
No,
raised.
it's
Is
not.
it dishonest
And
to
we've
eat a
paid for,
meal
he's
that
paid for
someone
it
is
being a
giving you?
taxpayer.
Or if you potentially have the intention of paying for it if they ask
I was
for
going to
payment.
say, I mean,
It's a
he's
bit
already
like
paid
that,
for it by paying his tax.
offering payment by novelty coin when the shop has previously said they will accept it. There's no dishonest intent there because you've got every intention to pay if they accept payment, but if they don't want the payment, it's no longer dishonest. So those are questions there. And so in either of those
I don't think
cases, they
he's
will
broken
have
any
to look
laws,
to
mate.
prove each
I just
element
think
of the
they're
offence
just
of burglary. And so that's about all I can say
You
without
do,
commenting
cat.
specifically on the case.
Ah,
Those are generally
stop
things that we will
whining.
have to prove to the offence of burglary. Okay, back to talking about flags. A lot of people have asked questions about flags. Is it legal to fly them? Which flags can you fly? Do you need permission? And so on. Well, there's a very useful guide on the government website here. And it very nicely says the following. Flags are a very British way of expressing joy and pride. They're emotive symbols which can boost local and national identities, strengthen community cohesion, and mark civic pride. The government wants to see more flags flown, particularly the Union flag, the flag of the United Kingdom.
I don't
It
want
is
to
a
see
symbol of
flags.
national unity and pride.
Well, someone's
The
started to
government
paint
has
the
recently
shops or
issued guidance
something.
encouraging
I
the
was going to say
flying
the
of
first
the Union
person's
flag
paint
on
their
all
house
government
red and white
buildings
and
throughout
blue.
the year
I
alongside
bet
the
blue with
national
it.
and local flags.
And then the first person
Question,
to have a
is
car.
that happening? Do you see the Union flag being
And then the
flown
first
on
person to
government
paint them
buildings
fucking
throughout the year,
selves.
throughout the country?
Yay! Because no point carrying a flag in. And then a t-shirt or something. You might as well paint yourself.
Doing so. I'll come back to the
Because that way, even if you get arrested, what are they going to do? They can't wash it off, or they might try and wash it off.
We've made it easier for the Union flag to be flown alongside
all
other
they
flags.
can do is try and wash it off.
Highlight the local identities as well as other national identities and celebrate special days, events with champions.
You can get washable
In
paint.
England, the
It's
flag
alright.
is treated as advertisements for
It's
the
alright.
purposes
Get
of planning
children's
regimes to ensure
washable
that
paint.
flags
It's
do not impact
perfectly
safety
alright.
or immunity. Some flags require
Babies,
formal
you know, the
consent permission
children's
from the
toddler
local planning
washable
authority,
paint.
whereas others, like the
It
Union
washes
flag,
off or
do not.
whatever.
The detailed controls of a flag
Takes a
flying
bit
are
of
set out
time
in
if you get
the
it
detailed
like where
regulation. So I'll link this
someone's
below
got
and
to
you can
paint
go check it
themselves
out.
like
But we're
half of
now to
themselves
the
white, half of
opposite.
themselves
Well,
fucking
look
red
here
or something
at
with a
this,
tad of blue.
Birmingham City post here. I will open this in a new tab so I can zoom in a bit more. Advertising
Maybe
Birmingham
on
City.
knees
Now,
and the
bearing in
elbows.
mind that councillors
That
have been
might
seen
be
going
alright.
around taking down flags
Tad
because
of
they say
blue
they
on
don't
the
like them.
knees and the elbows and the
And
rest
they've
is
cited all sorts
one
of things.
side
I've even
white,
seen
one
on
side red.
the screen now. I've even seen
With a
one
touch of
document to
blue.
say that the flags might damage the lampposts and it might pull them down. They are not built to withstand additional
I mean,
weight.
yeah, you
such
could
as a
just have to
flag
say
on
George's
the
flag, but
lamppost.
I think
Brock
as
tells
a
me there will be
Britain,
about 20,000
as the
flags
whole
required
of
before the
Great
Welsh can hold down
Britain, I
Atlantis,
think
but there we go.
the whole of
Despite all
Great
that,
Britain,
hypocrisy
Northern
is
Ireland,
nuts. It says
and
you can advertise
Scotland,
in
Wales,
Birmingham City
Wales
Centre.
and whatever.
Looking for ways to
I think
advertise to
we
reach
all need to
thousands of
stick
people, the
together
big city dressing advertising portfolio comprises
at the
flags,
moment
banners and
on
signs
what's going
located on busy
because we
routes in
split
and out of
up.
the city,
We're not going to have
as well
the
as central
people.
locations such as Cornwall Road
We're
and
already
Newshoot.
struggling
With a
with the
population
people,
of
so
over
like you say, we
1.1
need to
million
stick
and
together.
34 million visitors in 2017, the big city dressing portfolio provides a highly effective and competitively priced means of reaching your target audience. And commuter routes, it says, stand out on big city flags are situated along the busiest routes into the city, including
Germany.
A38 and so on. So
They put all this shit in place so it can't happen again. Well, they can get rid of all that bullshit.
Flags and
As far
banners
as
and
I'm
signs and other
concerned.
stuff along busy routes in and out of the city, around the area, to advertise your business. Now, at the same time, they say that planning rules require certain flags need permission so that it doesn't change the amenity of the area. But want to pay us for advertising? Sure, we'll put that up anywhere on the busy routes in and out of the city so that you can see all sorts of adverts wherever they are, whatever they're attached to, in and out of the city. Come on, come all, let's do the advertising, because obviously they get a little bit of money from it. A little bit of hypocrisy there, but if you're interested in flying flags, do look at the rules. They do want you to express joy and pride, and they want to see more flags, everybody. So the government wants to see more flags flown, particularly the Union flag. So
no, they just
that
want
might
to arrest
feature in the thumbnail
people,
for this
mate.
video. Do check out the rules.
I don't
do
think
go and
that's
fly
shit. I
the
think
Union
they just
flag
got
with pride, as the government
fucking arrest
suggests.
you when you do
I
it.
thank you for watching this video
But
so that you're a little bit more informed as to what's going on. And
I'd like to see a few people doing what I've
particularly
said.
if you are a current or previously serving police
Getting a
officer.
bit of paint on themselves and painting themselves
I
a
do
bit.
appreciate your comments and your emails, so thank you very much for those. Do like the video and subscribe. We're here on Black Belt Secrets, where things.
Do you know, I'll just get a fucking. I'm not red. Well, I was gonna say I'll just get some fucking red pants. Oh, but I'm not wearing red pants. And then I was gonna say I'll just get some white fucking pants, but I'm not wearing white pants either. Shit. Oh. Because I need white and blue. I have had white and I've had England shorts, so I need England shorts. And then I need get some waterproof. Waterproof. Kids paint to paint myself. And some for my hair. I might just get a bit of a wig with that one. I might just get a blue and white wig with a bit of blue in it. How the fuck am I going to do that? So that I can fucking paint myself Caroline Poynton in Berry.